Om Namo Narayana. Welcome back to the most poorly lit, somewhat yellow, dishes out, unprofessional kitchen on YouTube. But today we're going to read an Upanishad. You may not know this one. It is called the Kushrika Upanishad. Now I have to mention before I get into it that verses 2 through 9 are missing. This is one of the handful of Upanishads that have missing parts, and they're just gone. So I will start and then just let you know when I hit that point. Kushrika means knife. This Upanishad shows us the way to cut the attachment with this world using the knife called wisdom, and shows us the way to salvation. It is called the Kushrika Upanishad. I am relating to you the Kushrika Upanishad, using which we can attain awakening through yoga and reach the birthless state. Here is the missing verses 2 through 9. So then it picks up. Using the mind with very sharp wisdom as a knife, you have to meditate on the secret place called Prapada, which is above the feet, and cut it and go above. Using the path of a sharp mind, you have to practice yoga relentlessly and have to reach out to the secret place called Indra Vajram, which is in a place above the knees and separated out using meditation and yoga. Then you have to release the life power which is in between the union of thighs. Practicing skillful yoga, you should separate it out and go upward. Then you have to attain the group of nadis or nerves near the neck and realize the 101 nadis there and identify the best 3. You have to identify the Ida Nadi, which is the protector on the left side, the Pingala Nadi on the right side, and understand the proper position of the Sushumna Nadi. The one who identifies this is the only one who understands the secrets of the Vedas. Sushumna Nadi is the one which makes you merge with the ultimate reality, Brahman, and is one without any deficiencies, and is of the form of Brahman. In each of the 72,000 nadis, there is a material which is like oil. This is taken out of it by meditation. In the case of the Sushumna Nadi, it is not possible to separate this oily material out of it. Similar to the fact that oil gets the fragrance of jasmine flower when it joins with it, this nadi gets the smell of the good or bad deed done by a person. So you have to meditate on this nadi. Then this person who has won over his mental senses should sit in a place without any sound and become detached, realize the philosophy of yoga, and become one with no desires, and should withdraw within himself like the lamps getting off one by one when they are lit together. The one who realizes yoga through intense practice of pranayama and meditation on Om cuts off the bonds of family life using the very sharp mind which has been sharpened using an efficient sharpener of renunciation, and gets freedom from all bondage. The one who gets freedom from desires reaches the deathless state. The one who gets freedom from all desires by cutting off all desires and affection becomes devoid of all bonds. Thus ends this Upanishad. So I'm actually reminded of a live show that I did. If you go way back in time to September 2023 and look for, I think it's my live show number 62, 63. It's the 6th in the Spiritual Seekers class. And I actually read some from Vakshanamrut about wisdom and intelligence. And in that talk, it's not a very long one, it's like 20 minutes or so. I actually talk in that how we can have worldly intelligence, the world around us, whatever, or we have spiritual intelligence. And that spiritual intelligence, that's what we're looking at here. That's that wisdom. It's not just any old wisdom that allows us to cut these bonds. It's this great spiritual wisdom. It's a fine tool that's been sharpened and honed, which might be why, and this is going to be controversial, many people who do yoga don't seem to do anything that yoga promises. They don't cut any bonds. Nothing happens. You wonder why. They go around doing all their namastes and bowing and this and whatever. But nothing happens. It's just like, well, how come you're not getting the results of the books, of what the books promise? Because they don't have spiritual wisdom. They just have this. They just have a pose. They have the substance, but not what's inside the substance. They have the surface, really. Actually, they don't even have the substance. They just have the surface. Some substance. But they don't have true spiritual wisdom, because that spiritual wisdom tells them to cut it off, let it go, rise above, go beyond it. It's probably the hardest thing to do. Cut from all your attachments. Yeah, that is probably the hardest thing to do in spirituality for this spiritual path.